Excuse me, sir, is this the Delta House?
Sure. Come on in.
They have cold beer and action on the game.
I'm shocked to find that gambling is going on in here.
It's time for the Degenerates Next Door.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Oh, yeah, things are getting spicy in college football, not only the play on the field, but in the tally for the season here at the Degenerates Next Door. And let's do another week of it. I'm Rob Kendall, joining us by phone today, vacationing all the way from sunny Florida. Well, the glue that holds this show together. Jason Hammer, hello.
I took the NFL winnings and bought the penthouse suite here. Notice I said NFL and not college.
Yeah, it was a rough week for you for college football, but collectively, look, I mean, we got to fight to the finish now. I've been in first place throughout most of the year on the season total, but I am now tied with that rotten, dastardly, no good Kenny Britt.
Nothing brought me more joy than watching his Pittsburgh Steelers crap the bed. Now, I know this is the college show and it's not the NFL show, but if we're just going to sit here and crap on Kenny, let me just say nothing brought me more joy knowing that he had pajamas on that had the Steelers on it. He was trying to justify that god-awful uniform combo that looked like a divided highway sign and was just so obnoxious in the group text. Nothing brought me more joy than watching him fail.
Oh, it's so great, too, because the Steelers scored to go up like 9 in the first half, and he does this like something like, it's over, boys. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, first of all, now I hope you lose more than ever. But also, I'm like, you're a seasoned gambler. What are you doing saying that?
Right. Like, you know the rules, Rob. Like, and I taught you a long time ago, if things are going well, you let it ride. You don't say anything. You treat it like a pitcher with a no-hitter. You don't talk about it's over when you're barely up 9.
Yeah, I was in on the Packers, and so I was happy for many reasons. One, I won my bet for the show, which now I'm back. I was first. I'm first in the college. I was last in the NFL. So now I'm a little competitive, won both of the bets this week. But for that, for the pride, for the money I won, but most importantly, because Kenny Britt broke the cardinal rule of gambling, he deserved to lose, Hammer.
He put you in a position to root for the Green Bay Packers. Let that sink in.
All right, we got a fun show this week, our game of the week. And this is going to hit home for you because you're Mr. Tennessee. It's also going to hit home for David because now David's never really clear. He went to Tennessee for a while. I don't think he finished, though, and I'd love to know the story behind that.
I'm willing to bet he left in somebody's trunk.
But you are Mr. Tennessee, and it is the Tennessee Volunteers hosting Oklahoma. Oklahoma getting 3.5 at home. Where are you on this? It's kind of a sluggish week, but this, I guess, is our marquee game of the week.
Yeah, it's not a great slate of games this weekend because a lot of the teams that we thought would be good ended up being ass. Like at the beginning of the year, this was supposed to be Ohio State, Penn State week. Well, that's not going to happen because Penn State sucks now. So we're looking at Oklahoma at Tennessee. Again, Tennessee still mathematically alive to get into the college football playoff. And I guess you could argue Oklahoma maybe, but I feel like Tennessee's got a better path here. It's in Knoxville. Now, these teams played last year in Oklahoma, and Tennessee manhandled those guys. The final score might not have been as close as the game was. Tennessee had their way with Oklahoma last year, but that's when Tennessee had a much better defense. So I'm not looking at the spread here, Rob. I'm going to look at this total, and I'm seeing 55.5 right now at the time of this podcast, 55.5. I feel like the over gives you more ways to win this game because, number one, Tennessee's offense is really good. Even when they didn't score a lot against Alabama in that loss, it's because they shot themselves in the foot. They got down to the goal line and threw a pick six. Went forward on fourth down inside the red zone. Didn't get it. They can move the football on anybody. And at home in Knoxville, I think Tennessee's going to score. Also, Tennessee's defense stinks. They are not the Vols defense of a year ago that had multiple NFL dudes on it. They're giving up points in droves. Kentucky put up big numbers on Tennessee's defense. And here comes a pretty good quarterback with Oklahoma. Now, he's been banged up this year, started really good, then went through an injury, and he's starting to get his groove back just a little bit. So factor all of these in. I'm going to ride the Lightning here, and we're going to go over 55, 56 here.
Okay, so you're going over. Is it over 55? Is that what you got it at right now?
55 and a half.
Oh, 55 and a half. Okay, over 55 and a half in our game of the week, Tennessee playing host to Oklahoma. Now, I thought about, because I'm so glad you did what you did, because I was so worried we were going to pick the same game, because that is just poison beyond belief anytime you and I take the same game. Now, I also, because I love you and you're one of my best friends, I didn't want you to be angry at me and take Tennessee and then they do bad and then you blame me. So I'm really doing this just to escape all responsibility of anything from you, because I'd rather lose a point on our show than have you angry at me, because you're the meanest, most spiteful person I've ever met. So here's what I'm going to do. Rob. Yes, absolutely. I am taking Oklahoma, getting 3.5, and here's the actual reason why. I think Ole Miss is really good, so I'm not all that deterred by the fact that they lost that game against Ole Miss last week, which they really could have won. But mostly I just don't want you to be mad at me. I'm taking Oklahoma getting 3.5.
Yeah, I could see this being a close game. And you get into college overtime, where it gets into overtime number 2, and teams have to start going for 2. That 3 can still win you a game.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm in on Oklahoma getting 3.5. Hammer's at over 55.5 in the game. What's your other play this week, Hammer?
So I've had success on NFL Thursdays. Had a pretty good run on Thursday Night Football this year. So you know what? Let's take that philosophy and apply it to college football. And no, this is not a degenerate special, but Tulane at UTSA. The Roadrunners have a primetime game on Thursday night against Tulane. 7:30 kickoff. Tulane is a 3.5-point road favorite. I'm going to go with Tulane here. If I'm going to play it, I'm going to lay it, because UTSA, beginning of the year, I think they played Texas A&M surprisingly well, but after that, ass. Just week after week, ass. They have regressed every week. This isn't some sort of big love fest for Tulane, and I know it's a short week and going on the road, and sometimes that's a red flag, but this is a total fade of the Roadrunners here. Give me the green wave. I'll take Tulane. I'm going to lay 3.5.
All right, so Tulane getting 3.5 for Hammer. That comes on top of
laying 3.5.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, Tulane laying 3.5. That comes on top of the 55.5 over in the Tennessee-Oklahoma game. Me, I'm going back to the Irish. And look, we should look. Here's my deal on this now. If I'm gonna bet on games, I'm gonna watch. And Notre Dame should have covered that over. We were riding the Lightning with Notre Dame. They should have covered that over in the USC game, but that weather made 2 missed kicks. It's always the kickers, Hammer, that do us in. It's always the kickers. And that cost us the over. I'm not going to be deterred, though. Here's the deal. Notre Dame's at Boston College. It's a massive number, 28.5. But Boston College stinks. I think the only team they beat this year is Fordham. Are they even Division I? I don't know. Notre Dame cleans up against bad teams. They're not that great against good teams, but they clean up against bad teams. They will overwhelm Boston College. Notre Dame is playing for style points, because a lot of people have them at 12 or 13 right now in terms of the college football playoff. Boston College stinks. They're not going to get a lot there, so they need an impressive number. I think they will run the score up. I'll take Notre Dame laying 28.5 at Boston College.
And you've got to remember, Rob, if Marcus Freeman wants to add maybe another 0 to that paycheck, he's got to start blowing out some teams, because then here comes the phone call from LSU. Here comes the phone call from Penn State. Not that he would want to leave, but you drive up the price. We call that pulling a Signetti.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so before we go to break, let's go ahead and check all the boxes for you since you're on vacation this week. Let's go ahead and tell us what the Degenerate Special is going to be.
And again, I can't stress this enough. The Thursday night game that features UTSA is not the worst game that I'm betting this weekend, Rob.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
3:30 p.m. this Saturday. Where will you be when Delaware travels to Liberty? for whatever reason, Rob, the odds makers still feel like Liberty is that scrappy team that was winning, double-digit games and making bowl runs the last couple of years. This ain't that Liberty team, and they're a 3-point home favorite against Delaware, a pretty scrappy Delaware squad. And I got to be honest, outside of maybe Kent State and a few others, I don't know who Liberty should be a favorite against in this country. Liberty stinks. I know what they say, give me liberty or give me death, but in this case, I might be dying a slow, painful death if I hitch my wagon to them. I want the points. Give me the Blue Hens. I want Delaware +3 at Liberty, and that is your degenerate special.
All right, Delaware +3. Let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we will hear from our pros, David Stephanoff and Kenny Britt, on where they're at on our game of the week, Tennessee at Oklahoma, plus one of their own picks. You're listening to The Degenerates Next Door. So let's find out what the pros have to say. Let's go to the hotline. The big one this week for us here on The Degenerates Next Door is Oklahoma and Tennessee, joined now by David Stephanoff of Follow Never Fade. David, hello.
Hello, Mr. Kendall. Thank you for having me. Big week in football we got. I'm kind of fired up about this Oklahoma-Tennessee game, but I got to remind everybody that last week we had everybody with the big game was Vanderbilt and Missouri. And 3 guys chose Missouri, and 1 guy chose Vanderbilt, but I can't remember what it was. Anyway,
that
we're
was
on
you.
This week, guys.
That was you.
Let's go this week. I came out of this. That was a toss-up game. A game could win either way. Although it's the same thing this week. Speaking of that, Tennessee and Texas and Missouri, Vanderbilt is my other play after this game.
All right, so let's get to the game of the week. It's kind of a weak, Hammer and I talked about this earlier, it's kind of a weak slate, but you do have Oklahoma and Tennessee, 2 borderline playoff teams kind of hanging on there. What say you, brother?
Okay, I like this game. I'm an avid Tennessee fan. Went to UT for a couple of years myself. I think that really looking at this game, Tennessee's not beat anybody. They've not beat anybody really this year. They're not the best win maybe is Kentucky. They beat all the soft teams. Oklahoma's, they're up and down. The quarterback's getting healthy. They beat South Carolina, which is without the quarterback, but they actually look a lot better than Tennessee has. Tennessee's kind of unreliable here. I'm liking the 3.5 points here with the dog here, Oklahoma. The quarterback's getting better. I just don't think Tennessee's reliable here. I know they're at home. The crowd's going to be behind them, but this line should be way more than 3.5 if Oklahoma didn't have a chance to win. I think Oklahoma's got the better quarterback. He stays healthy. They've got a chance to keep advancing. But my view here is Tennessee hasn't played anybody and proved anything yet.
Yeah, so let's talk about that for a second because Oklahoma gets beat last week, but I think Ole Miss is, I hate to say this about Lane Kiffin, but I think Ole Miss is actually really good.
I do too, and I mean we already know, but Lane Kiffin's gonna have his choice of any coach, any job in America to chase like this, and so there's a lot of going on in that program I think this week. But they looked that was like that game was a toss up last week. Oklahoma, Mississippi, they went back and forth the whole game. Oklahoma's played a way tougher schedule than Tennessee has this so far. I'm going with the quarterback and probably the better defense. I mean, in and out, Oklahoma don't give up a lot of points ever. I don't see them Tennessee. This is not Kentucky this week. That's for sure.
Okay, so you are in on Oklahoma getting 3.5. You said your other game, boy, it's a game that's fascinating because if you'd have said Texas and Vanderbilt, one of these teams is going to be great at the first of the year, you'd have thought it'd be Texas, but it's Vanderbilt. What say you?
You know what? You're right there. I think that the question this week is Arch Manning. He's in concussion protocol, but I don't think it's going to matter here. Texas has not played a conference home game yet this year, Rob. They haven't been home in a month and a half. They have not been home in a month and a half. Texas is at home for the first time. Missouri. I keep same colors. Vanderbilt keeps. They've had tough game after tough game after tough game. Now they're going to go on the road to Austin, Texas, where it's going to be a tough place to play. I like Texas here. I don't care who's behind center. I like Texas in this spot. I think it's a must-win for them. Give me Texas minus. It's right now it's at a 1. Give me Texas -1 over Vandy. It's going to be a good one, but I think Texas first back at home in confines of Austin, Texas, they get it done -1 over Vanderbilt.
All right, so you're in on Texas laying 1 at home against Vandy, and you are in on Oklahoma getting 3.5 at Tennessee. Tell us about what you do for a living, David, and where people can find you.
Hey, Mr. Kendall, thank you for having me. Awesome. I want to say, hey, you can follow me everywhere. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, everywhere. Just punch in follow over Fade. We pop up everywhere, free plays. I'm easy to get a hold of. Message me directly to sign up for basketball. College basketball starts Monday, Rob. I can't wait. You know it's my Christmas. You sign up for my basketball package. You get football free for the rest of the year, guys. We're absolutely ready for college basketball. We're locked in. Best player in America, I'm going to tell you right now, is Mikael Brown Jr. for Louisville. Carlos Boozer's son will get a lot of run with Duke, but the best player in America plays for Louisville. Thank you for following me. Shout out to Hammer. I know he's on vacation down in Florida, probably drinking some cocktails on the beach. Shout out to Kenny Britt, KB Sports. Me and him been talking. Got a big week of Breeders' Cup going forward. And the mayor of Brownsburg, my favorite person in Brownsburg and Hendricks County, Rob Kendall. Thank you for having me, and don't forget to follow Never Fade, boss.
All right, David Stephanoff, thank you, my friend.
Thank you, buddy.
From one pro to the next, let's find out what our other highly advanced mind on sports betting has to say. Our old pal Kenny Britt joins us now, KB Sports. Kenny, hello.
Hey, guys, what's going on? I just got offline, and I bought my Chauncey Billups 5-card poker starter set. I was going to invite you, Jason, and David over Friday night. You guys up for it?
Yeah, the game will totally be on the level. I'm so excited. It'll be a real Halloween trick-or-treat. A lot of tricks.
Rob, I saw something just before you called. I was on ESPN. Since the college football season started, all the coaches that have been fired, take a guess what the total buyout money is.
Oh man, boy! So you got Gundy, you got Franklin, you got Kelly. I mean, you got to be well over 100 million. Yeah, oh, that's right, Napier. You got to be closing on 200 million, right?
Yeah, good, great. Yeah, 168. Yeah, and that's just, and we're not even in November yet. I mean, it will hit 200 or more. I mean, that's absurd.
Yeah, well,
that's absurd.
You do wonder, Kenny, because we don't do politics on this show, but people look at this and they go, wait a second, I'm working a job every day, I'm going to work, I'm struggling to feed my family and pay my mortgage, and these guys stink at their jobs, and they're getting tens of millions of dollars to not work.
It's kind of like weathermen are only right half the time, and they still make pretty good money.
Well,
When I saw that, I just could not believe $168 million, and like you said, it'll top 200 easy.
Oh yeah, well, somebody who likes to be right is you, my man, because you are a big, hairy American betting machine, and our game of the week this year is Oklahoma at Tennessee. The spread is Tennessee 3.5-point favorite. What say you?
Yeah, Rob, this game, both teams we talk every week about elimination games this time of year. Both teams still have a little twinkle left, just a little bit. So this is a true elimination game. I just like Tennessee's body of work a little better. Oklahoma getting beat by Texas is starting to look worse and worse as Texas has looked, after that game. Tennessee, they had Georgia on the ropes. They should have beat Georgia. They played Bama tough. That's their only 2 losses. The remaining schedule is a lot, but, it's not that difficult. So I think if Tennessee wins Saturday night, they've still got a chance to sneak into playoffs through the back door. There's a lot of football left in November. I like them offensively, obviously. I mean, their offense is loaded. I think they're coached better. So all that being said, Rob, I'm on Tennessee, man. I like Tennessee.
I love this.
Them a lot.
You and David are going at each other. Look, David is in on Oklahoma getting the 3.5. Any concern that when you look at Oklahoma, hey, maybe Ole Miss was actually just really good, or do you think, hey, maybe it was because Oklahoma wasn't all that good?
Yeah, a little, but every week I think we're going to see the other shoe drop with Mississippi, and they've proved us wrong.
Right.
So, yeah, Mississippi's good, and they're under backup quarterback, so they're really playing good football, man. It's going to be really interesting to see what Lane Kiffin does this year, if he stays or goes, because he goes somewhere else, he can really get any recruit he wants. So Yeah, Mississippi's a really good football team, but I just like I said about Oklahoma, getting beat by Texas, that really is starting to look worse and worse each week as Texas is really struggling. So I just think Tennessee's a better team.
All right.
Down.
That's one half of the equation. You got one more game for us. Tell us about it.
Yep, I am on Miami SMU game. I've been on Miami and Carson Beck since the summer.
You love Beck.
He had the Heisman in his grasp until that Louis. I mean, it was his. If you guys don't know, I had a future bet on him where if he won the Heisman, I'd win almost $700. He had it, and then Louisville came a calling and just pissed it all away. But this is going to be a shootout. SMU had a really bad game last week. There was 4 turnovers in the first half. Actually, there was 3 turnovers in the final 90 seconds of the first half with the SMU game last week. But they've got a really good quarterback. He's a young kid, Kevin Jennings. He's on everybody's draft board for 2 years away. He's going to be a top draft pick in 2 years. Obviously, Miami still, they're still going to make the playoffs. This is going to be a shootout, Rob. I love it. Over 50.5 on Miami and SMU. I think that's probably the second best game of the week going after this Tennessee-Oklahoma game. So I am on Miami, SMU, over 50.5.
All right, so you are laying the 3.5 with Tennessee and Oklahoma. You are over 50.5 Miami and SMU. But you do a lot more than just this, Kenny. Tell us about KB Sports and where people can find you.
Yeah, Rob, you can find me on Facebook at KB Sports. This Friday and Saturday, got Breeders' Cup, $35 million in purses and horse racing. Big money-making opportunities in there. NBA so far, I'm 12-6 on the year. College basketball next week. Made the World Series. Probably one of the best games ever last night. What we witnessed in the World Series. So we got it all going on Facebook on KB Sports. And, man, let's just crush the books this week. Just a good week to do that, I think.
I love the positivity, my man. Kenny Britt, KB Sports, thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, this is the Degenerates Next Door. Oh, we're almost done, but not yet. It is the Degenerates Next Door. I'm Rob Kendall, joined by Jason Hammer. And Hammer, I've got a question for you, I guess, since I'm manning the controls this week. Are you ready for me to get nuts?
All right, bring it. Get nuts. Come on.
Let's get nuts! Lights out. Now you want to get nuts? Come on. Let's get nuts.
All right, I can't believe the odds are actually still this good. Now, Hammer, remember when the year started, one of the picks I made was Indiana to make the college football playoff at plus 500, just to make the college football playoff. Well,
Which
look,
seems like a value now.
oh, yeah, I mean, that was a great value. However, I went and checked what's the odds to win the national championship, and I think we can safely say there really are 3 dominant teams right now. Ohio State, Indiana, and Alabama has become one of them. But amongst those 3 teams, you can still get Indiana right now to win the national championship at plus 600. The first or second best team in America who is steamrolling everyone, and you can get them at plus 600. Sign me up for that all day, every day. Hammer, I'm getting nuts with Indiana at plus 600 to win the national championship.
All right, want to get nuts? Come on.
Let's get nuts! Lights out. Now you want to get nuts? Come on. Let's get nuts.
That seems like great
You're
value,
going to get a
doesn't
lot
it?
of hate mail, Rob. You're going to get hate mail from the Texas A&M people saying that, Bama is more dominant than they are.
Well, that's true. That's right. I just feel like Bama is a better. I know this sounds so crazy to say. Brian Kelly stinks. You don't get any points for beating him. That's like Notre Dame beating Boston College this weekend, if they do. Closing thoughts, Hammer, before we bid adieu this week on the Degenerates Next Door.
Again, we're at the point in the college football season where teams are going to start being eliminated. Tennessee is 1 loss away officially from being done. They might be done already. Oklahoma, Missouri's quarterback's out for the year. Vanderbilt's got some tough games still ahead of them here. So those back-end playoff spots are still wide open, which means we're going to have some damn good ball coming down to the wire.
All right, that is going to do it for us this week. Again, Hammer, your picks for everybody before we bid adieu.
I am on the over in Oklahoma at Tennessee. I like the Vols offense. I hate the Vols defense. And when Tennessee's played good quarterbacks this year, they've given up big numbers. Thursday night action, we're going to lay 3.5 with Tulane, and your degenerate special, the Fighting Joe Flacco's of Delaware. We're going to take the field goal on the road.
All right, I am in on Oklahoma getting 3.5 at Tennessee. Notre Dame can't beat anybody good, but they steamroll bad teams. I'll lay the massive 28.5 at Boston College. And for Let's Get Nuts this week, you can grab IU at 6-1 to win the national championship. For Jason Hammer, for our pros, Kenny Britt and David Stephanoff, I'm Rob Kendall. You've been listening to The Degenerates Next Door.